Hey everybody, welcome to a Saturday night special of Wash Your Hands. The economy is opening back up. I'll be your host, Jason Spatafora, also known as that asshole, the Wolf of Weed Street. Not to be confused with Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street. It was a catchy name back then. Anyway. So, I'm gonna do a couple of things today that, first, for the few of you that have come in and entered, thank you. I mean, I love these numbers, right? I mean, they're not Twitter numbers, but hey, Rome wasn't built in a day. So anyway, there's a lot of shit to get to. And the week is just going to get crazy, man. And I said this like, man, I just feel like at any moment there is going to be a massive rug pull in the market. Because it's defying logic. We know that you can't fight the Fed. And that the game was completely changed once, the government started buying 2.3 trillion worth of junk debt, right? What's up, Igor? So I got to get this shirt in because if you don't know what this shirt is, I mean, your friends aren't doing a good job sending you memes for the coronavirus. Anyway, so the Fed bought 2.3 trillion worth of basically bad bets it's called junk bonds for a reason, right? After that completely changed everything. Like before that, we would have bounced around on the SPY from like 240 to 260, just kind of doing this like a pinball. After that, all fucking bets are off, right? And then last weekend, we had this thing, with Warren Buffett. I wanted to talk about that a little bit. Let's start with that, right? So last week on the stream, I said I was deep in call options in airlines. Those options all expire this week. It was a fucking dogfight every day, just because we would gap up and then just get crushed every single day. And I was in Love and American Airlines. Love is Southwest, it's LUV. American Airlines is symbol AAL. And then this week, Friday, I got into Save, which is Spirit Airlines. But it was a complete dogfight, and it was complete dog shit because the move that it made was based off of Warren Buffett selling 10% stake in some of those companies a fucking month ago. But what are the peasants at Pumps R Us? Silky, that's a reference to you. So what do the peasants at Pumps R Us, CNBC, do? They just fucking keep telling the story. Market Watch posted that story 3 times in one day on Monday, and then 3 times, same story the next day. It's crazy. And the airlines were getting hammered for what? Yeah, nobody's traveling. But, we went through this price discovery where all these things dropped, and now all of a sudden Warren Buffett hits a bottom, causes a bottom on these things. This is why I hate Robinhood traders. So anyway, I think that the airlines, it's still going to be a little choppy with them, but I'm still going to hang tight in my calls. I think the strategy for all of you, when you're playing call options, or if you're just buying the stock long. All right, let's talk about buying the stock long because that's the easiest. the ones that I would put my money in, like gun to my head, if somebody gave me $100 and said, okay, you got to split it into 3 companies, I'd go with Southwest, I'd go with Delta, and I'd go with Spirit. Now, I hate Spirit Airlines, okay? I fucking hate them. Like, if I ever have to fly back on Spirit, that's like my worst case scenario. Like, and the problem is when I fly back from Vegas, sometimes I get stuck on that flight. That way I could fly nonstop. But it's to the point where I'd rather have a layover. But the truth is, Spirit is a pretty fucking well-run airline. It's no frills. They don't give a fuck. Well, or they think that you think it's no frills, but then they fucking bang you for everything. So they've created this entire mindset where, or perception that, oh, we're a cheap airline, but you're paying just as much as like JetBlue or United or fucking whoever else you travel with. So I think that that's a really good one. Look, I like all these things long term. Trying to pick a bottom on it, it's going to be tough. But you just stay active in the stock when you buy it, right? And what staying active in the stock means is you buy it at 25, it moves $1, sell 20% of your position, wait for a pullback, and reload it. It gives you a little bit more insurance, lets you pick up a few extra shares on their dime, and it's just a really wise way to trade, for some of these long-term positions, especially when you've already hit a bottom. And if, let's say, you sell a piece and then the fucking thing runs, well, if you're selling a piece, that means you're selling profit, and nobody goes broke taking profit, and that's first and foremost. So there will always be something else out here, especially in this market. It's a target-rich environment for distressed companies that are going to be around. These are companies that have good balance sheets that will weather this pandemic. All right, so that's first. Next, Potstocks. We're going to skip around here, so it's going to be a lot of fun for all 30 of you. Going to the summit, what are you thinking? You know what? Let's. I know there's only 30 of you. I'm just going to let you guys fucking rapid fire questions. That's the best way to do it. So, Johnny B. I'm guessing that's Johnny Bevilacqua. Great name. What's up, Luffer Booms? Cannabis sentiment seems different going into the summer. What are you thinking? I'm thinking, let me rub my magic 8-ball. The people that think cannabis is good going into the summer are fucking idiots. I didn't say it. The magic 8-ball did. I had to have that magic 8-ball specially ordered. Look, there's a reason I made a lot of money in cannabis and Potstocks. All right. And it was, it's a quick story. I put money in 2013. There was like no companies. Colorado went legal. All of a sudden, like the money that I put in went up literally thousands of percent in a couple of months. I got lucky. Then came March and then April. And the entire sector just tanked. I gave a lot of it back. But I always remembered how drastic and devastating that grind down and collapse was. So I went back and I looked at like the 15 companies that were Potstocks before this, what they did the previous year and the year before, if they were trading that long, and they all did the same thing. So then when 2015 rolled around, I was like, I'm fucking out. I'm out of Potstocks. And I waited to get back in the summer. So 2016 rolls around, crushes, gets to March 15th, I'm out. All right, and you've seen these tweets, they're the Ides of March tweets. And then every summer, I'd scoop up. Like 2017, I think I bought Aurora. The 52-week high in 2017 by July, I believe, was like $3.26. That was like December, or it was in November, December in 2016 for Aurora. By July of 2017, Aurora was hit 98 cents. I picked it up at like $1.05. Just give you an idea. And that was Potstocks in general. Canopy went to $7. A bunch of people I know on FinTwit, like a good buddy, Todd Shapiro from Laptop Bulls, calls me up. What do I do? And I was like, fucking relax. Buy. I was like, always goes up. You're in good shape. Don't worry about it. Buy now. Buy more now. Sell. Rinse, repeat in the summer next year. That's how it goes. So, despite everything that's going on, if anything, cannabis right now, has buzz because people have nothing else to do but fucking get high and eat food at their house. I don't know how much. I haven't stepped on a scale, but I know I've put on some fucking lbs from this whole coronavirus pandemic. I mean, I went from drinking maybe a soda a day to like drinking like 3 or 4 sodas a day. Sorry. Yeah, break your concentration. So yeah, I think, if that was the case where the sentiment is changing in marijuana, then you would think that the stocks would just be fucking flying through the roof. Now, you look at some of the things that should not be trading as high as they are. Obviously, technology. Look at this company. Its symbol is WING. It's Wing. It's Wingstop. Wingstop was like $100 before the pandemic. Drops down to 45. Look at the chart for Wingstop. I'll pull it up for you on my phone. It's just like this to an all-time high. It's absolutely nuts. I was like, I've been dying to short it, like dying. The market isn't doing what it's supposed to do. All right. That's a 1 month on Wingstop. See that? 1 month. It's nuts. So if that was the case, Potstocks would look like that. Instead, let's go to Canopy, the bellwether. I'm sorry I'm doing this on my phone. But I have to. What does Canopy do on the 1 month? It puts in a big fuck you chart. That is the patented wolf fuck you chart. Okay. And I said that when this thing hit $17. I go, the fucking chart is going to look like a middle finger. What did it do? Next day, just did this. And the problem is that the cannabis industry, especially for the ones that everybody's following, the bellwethers, these are the ones on the big boards. And unfortunately, all the ones on the big boards are in Canada. And they have some massive headwinds, okay? I mean, they have problems no matter what. They've got Europe, they've got lack of dispensaries, they've got billions in goodwill. All of this matters. I mean, Kronos. People were actually messaging me, telling me, dude, I'm going to run fucking Kronos. I just bought a shitload of call options. It's like, you fucking crazy? You don't buy fucking call options. And as a general rule, do a strangle or a straddle on some of these pot stock earnings. If you want to know what a straddle is, we can show you on So on True Trading Group, which I'm posting the link here because don't worry, I'm not going to do this 50 million times and make this a fucking commercial. So we'll go over some of these straddles on Tuesday. So Tuesday is the free day in True Trading Group. That's where you can trade with me, Wolf, and a bunch of other people that know what the fuck they're doing. It's actually a lot of fun. And usually on Tuesdays, this Tuesday was kind of quiet. But usually on Tuesdays, we're just fucking crushing it. I mean, this Tuesday we still crushed it, but but yeah, so those first links are for TTG Tuesday. So you sign up, you get a token. Doesn't cost you anything. And then those last couple of links, those last three are like for people that want to register and then trade with us and make money with us every day. But I have no, try that shit out. Like, it's fire, you know. Like, if you go in there and you're following trades, let's say you go in there with $5,000 in your account and you don't make 500 or $1,000 on TTG Tuesday, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. So, but anyway, it's not the time to buy Potstocks, long story short. But yeah, so I digressed a lot. So on those options, you want to do a straddle or a strangle on really any earnings. We learned that with Roku this week, Netflix a couple of weeks back. But so this week, Village Farms, Tilray, and Aurora all have earnings. Village Farms, that stock's a little culty. It's cheap. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes up, but I'd be shocked if their earnings were any good. I don't like Village Farms. I think that they're fucking dog shit. I've never liked them. So, you know, if I had a, like a soundboard, I'd say no thanks. Another one is Aurora. Aurora's earnings are going to be fucking pitiful. And I think their earnings, holy shit. Actually, I think Monday, Aurora will be over $10 again for everybody in Canada. Hey, you said it was going to happen, and I didn't believe you. Unfortunately, it got there by a 12-to-1 reverse split. So yeah, so Aurora probably goes to like $8, $8.20, whatever. I don't know, closed under 70 cents. I don't know. What's 6.8 times 12? That's what the price will be. Sorry. I know you guys will. I know you guys are dying to know too. 16. It's going to 768. You buying puts on Monday on Aurora? Ooh, Joe Canada. You know what? I am going to buy puts on Aurora, but I don't know if those options are going to be available right away, to be perfectly honest with you. But as soon as they are available, and on the day that the stock reverses, you don't want, it'll be a green day, okay? Because the people that have paper that need to sell won't be able to sell that day. The same shit happened with TerraTech when they did a reverse split, like a 15-to-1. And I was trying to tell my buddy Todd Harrison, I was like, sell. I was like, get out. It was like 476 when they did that reverse. And it ran up because, what's his name? Is it Todd Peterson? No, Derek Peterson. Derek Peterson, the CEO of TerraTech, couldn't dilute. So to give you an idea, so when 471, TRTC, they changed their name. Ready? I'm going to show you this fucking chart. You will not fucking believe this shit. Fuck, poor Todd. He went long this. Long. Oh, God. You ready? And so I'm not being a fucking Monday morning quarterback. Just type in @Wolf of Weed Street and the symbol TRTC. That's for TerraTech, and you can see called it. But yeah, Aurora needed to do a 12-to-1 reverse because they were just fucking pigs. They have no cash and they have to dilute. So that stock probably, I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to 50 cents or whatever, $6. I'd probably put it, I'd say a floor for it would be, now you have to divide all these by 12, right? I think like 50 cents is probably a floor where they'll just stop it. So whatever that is times 12, 50 cents, like pre-split. So that would come out to $6. Like 55 cents would be $6.60. All right, so 666. Oh, Andrew. Okay, so you can still buy those puts. Yeah, so I wonder if they adjust, right? Yeah, I think the Aurora put is definitely in play. Unless they fuck shorts by doing this deal and they've just got a bunch of news flow ready, which includes private investment, selling of some assets, boom, 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 boom. But they're still they're still in a lot of trouble. But yeah, Tilray. I don't play Tilray earnings because they always do some kind of fuckery. So I would just stay away from it. I just wouldn't play it. But here's the crazy thing. The open interest for Tilray call options is at like fucking 90, like it's 93% bullish, I think I saw. So I just wouldn't fuck with that one. But I also don't think that you're going long any of these stocks now. Trade them, yes. Put 100 grand into them? Fuck no. You don't want to put any big money into anything until August. And I'm saying that now. Trade it. So this week we also have TrueLeave has their first unlock of 11.2 million shares. That's going to be really interesting because I'm not sure exactly how much of that 11.2 million is from founders and management. Depending on if any of that was from an acquisition, I think they could be in trouble because their volume just fucking sucks. Like people are basically just trading TrueLeave between themselves right now, and the volume is just really fucking bad for a company that's so good, and that's just a failure on the management and the IR side's part. Because I would love to see what the amount of shareholders they have. Johnny B. Well, what the fuck? I thought your research team provided this info on this type of unlocks. You know what, Johnny? That's actually a valid statement. Like, why wouldn't my research team do this? Well, one, I have to pay for that type of research. So I have a quantitative analyst, and it doesn't matter because I have no plans on getting into TrueLeave now. I'm just using this to see what it does because I do know that they've got 40 million shares coming in July, which I don't need a fucking analyst or anybody to tell me what that thing's going to do. I know what it's going to do, and it's going to fucking take a shit. Any processors you like? No, not sexy enough for me. What's TrueLeave stock price in 12 months? I don't know. It depends on how smart the people that are in TrueLeave now are. See, here's the thing. If let's say everybody, all the true believers, go, balls deep after this unlock. Let's say, because this unlock could be a non-event, right? Let's say they're like, oh, I knew it. Fucking back the truck up. I'm just going to buy Trulieve. And they run this thing up. Well, relatively speaking. When that unlock happens, they will be the first ones to panic. And they will drop this thing to like below $6. If they drop it below $6, and let's say people are buying at like 12, 13, 14, or 10, whatever, there's going to be so much fatigue that every time you get to one of those dollar amounts, people that are just like at that break even point are just going to be like, I just want out. I'm just happy to be break even, because as you know, in Potstocks, a lot of people don't get to break even. They go to like down 80%. And, that's something very realistic with any pot stock. And honestly, that could happen with any fucking pot stock. And that's the truth. And that's why I don't treat, like I love T-God, back in the day. But I took my profit, right? I still own some, but you treat every company like it's going to fuck you. And I swear to God, you'll make so much more money. Because I treated T-God like it was going to fuck me. Guess what? It fucked me. But it fucked me at a time where I gave 0 fucks. So you see how that works? What's the most simple strategy to start learning options? Well, first, I think, if you're going to learn options, you need to learn the basics of stock trading. Like, you don't just get into options. You get into, if you just start with options, you're going to lose all your money. Like there are books, like so on like True Trading Group, let's see. Fuck, I wish I knew how to share my screen. So let's see. I'm gonna log in. No. Boom. The fuck? Sorry. Sign in. All right, fuck it. Anyway, yeah, so we give you like entire coursework on True Trading Group from like start to finish, like from like opening up your account to like advanced options trading. Like we have a beginner's options course, and there's fucking tests, there's videos and stuff. And then there's like advanced options, which is like iron condors, credit spreads, and everything in between. Look, if you're just going to go at it blind, the best advice I could give you is it's buy to open and sell to close. Okay. Just remember that. And it's like buying a stock. Now, if you do buy to close and sell to open, you could get yourself really fucked. Oh, Steph, how are you liking the course? Your thoughts about Vegas market in the long term and the position in 1933 industries at play? I think so. I have investments in Vegas that are private, and one of them is trying to be sold, and it's a private company. Does very well. That market's tough. I don't think they're going to have any buyers anytime soon. There's also a lot of competition, but the problem with Vegas right now is that at some point, while everybody is buying weed, at some point they're going to have to stop buying weed because there's just not going to be any money. You need money from something. That whole place is fucking casino. So Las Vegas is kind of fucked right now, So 1933 Industries, yeah, like they've got a lot of CBD products that they can sell everywhere. The problem is that there's a lot of products, and look, at the end of the day, companies that have brands and products are different from, you have to separate them from public vehicle. And so what I mean by that is you've got a stock, all right? And then you've got the business that creates a product, right? This could be great. And it is. But this public vehicle could just fist you, all right? Perfect example, MedMen. Great dispensary, public vehicle, that is a fucking nightmare, all right? Stupidest management team. Now, people in 1933, great guys. I love the people in 1933. And they have been marketing clients for marijuana stocks, but, you know, I'll show you how much. So, and you asked the question. So these are all 1933 pens. All right, all CBD. So this is their, you see that can of hemp? Yeah. So their can of hemp brand. Their products are great. I have a ton of their products. I got creams and all these other CBD things. Like, they're great. So, you know, look, at the end of the day, a lot of these public companies in cannabis need to start marketing again. They're not marketing. That's just the truth. Because everybody's like afraid of what to do with their money. And they're putting themselves into a really dicey situation. So yeah, that's it. So let me see if there's any other questions. Oh, going right into, hey Wolf, hope all is well. What's your thoughts on Tetra Biopharma as a company long-term in cannabis? I think Tetra Biopharma is dog shit, honestly. Not that the company, now this is separating the public vehicle from what the company actually does. I wouldn't put my money in a cannabis biotech or not cannabis. And, you know, let's full disclosure, Tetra Biopharma has been a client of mine in the past. And no complaints there. The stock went from like 50 cents to $1.60, you know, over time. Like, we were long gone, like we did our job. But at the end of the day, like, biotech is really messy. It requires a lot of money, you know, especially, you know, for these early stage companies. That's one of those companies where you buy on strength, not on weakness. And I just don't think it's liquid enough, and I don't think it will hold people's attention long enough. At some point when you're in Tetra Biopharma, like February, I think it was, when it ran up, I think it was like 65 cents, and I was telling people to get out. I was like, look, take your profit. And it ran all the way back to 20 cents. So it gave it all back, and now it's sitting at like 33 cents last I checked. That's not a company you want to buy and hold for 5 years. You know, you could believe in them, keep a small piece in there, but you have to look at it like this. If your money is invested in Tetra Biopharma and Tetra Biopharma just doesn't move, you're literally wasting money every day, okay? Because you have to look at it as opportunity cost. All right, so Dan, so there's my answer to that. Chiron, fuck no. Chiron is dog shit. Don't ask me about that company. That company sucks. You guys buy such dog shit. It's amazing. Chiron Life Sciences. I'll look at it. There you go. There's Chiron. Don't mistake a dead hooker bounce for a long-term play. Trade the momentum, but no, not something you want to be in long-term. You shouldn't buy things that are under $1, honestly. And I know I shouldn't say that, but you shouldn't. Any opinion on Uxley Cannabis? Yeah, I don't like Uxley. Next question. And guys, look, I'm going to be very abrupt with Potstocks, like which Potstocks I like and which Potstocks I don't. I've got no skin in the game. So, like I'm not short any Potstocks is what I'm trying to tell you. I'm just saying, like, understand that I talk to everybody in the cannabis industry, there's CEOs of Potstocks in the US and in Canada that are members of True Trading Group. And you guys don't even fucking know it. I know it because I know who they are. I know the alias. And they're just like trading or learning to trade. It's amazing. So they don't put it this way. Ask 9 out of 10 CEOs of Potstocks if they're bullish or bearish, not on the industry as a whole, but on price action going into the summer. I'd tell you 9 out of 10 of them are bearish. That's 100%. I talked to a CEO the other day, and he's like, "What are your thoughts are for the summer?" Like, I was like, "I don't know, maybe another 20%." He's like, "Yeah, I think that's about right." Okay. Mike from TTG was talking about treasury bonds. What are your thoughts on these? I mean, look, if you want to invest in treasury bonds, go for it. Like if you got to park like $1 million, $2 million, $3 million in something, yeah, treasury bonds, safe. I'm good. I'm not there yet. I'm not. Well, maybe when I'm like 60, I'll do that. But I don't see the need right now. I might, I'd rather put $1 million into like condos, like buying condos for like in like old age communities with like old folks communities and like where my parents live, like on a golf course. I'd rather buy 10 of those, cash, so no mortgage, and then make 10 to 15% a year on each of them. So that would be my treasury bond. Canopy Rivers. No. Johnny B. $9 5.15 call on US Steel. There was a lot of volume on that one. I think that's a really interesting indicator for the market in general, because if you're making that bet, you obviously think that the market is going to go up because US Steel trades with the SPY. So, yeah. Look, I like US Steel. I think maybe Monday it comes down. I didn't buy puts like I said I would, but I really want to see what it does in the beginning, in like the middle of the day tomorrow. Like, let's say it hits $9 tomorrow. Let's just say, for argument's sake, it hits $9. I wouldn't buy 850 puts. I'd buy $9 puts. I'm not gonna fuck with US Steel when it makes a move like this. That's when you get into nearly in the money puts or calls, or in the money puts or calls. It's actually the perfect time to do a straddle. If US Steel gets $9, remind me, Johnny, to do a straddle. Okay, I will do a straddle. All right. Straddle is, for everybody, when you buy a put and a call, same strike price and expiration date. And then you peel off the one you don't want when the direction is kind of confirmed. Yes. DMCK or Dominic. Isn't Monday the last day for the dividend? So the last day to own it was, I guess the record date was the 7th. Then those shares have to be, what's it called? Settled by the 11th. Is the market due for another correction? Or we had the dip and it's time to start slowly scaling into the market? Your time to scale into the market was March. That, that was the fucking truth of it. If you missed March, you pretty much missed the market. But that's not to say that there are going to be tons of opportunities out there. Now you're kind of picking through what sectors are catching up. Okay, so like energy is catching up. Okay, so there's still a lot of really good, distressed energy companies out there. Travel sector is going to catch up. So, the airlines, that's why I'm playing the airlines, because, to an extent, I feel like, I maybe was a little too cautious getting into some positions, but some of those positions are, just doing way too good. So I guess in March, I did a stream, and I'll just give you like 5 of the companies that I said I would buy, and it was on a Sunday. I was like, companies that you should be buying. Square. So Square was $38. I said Constellation Brands at $127. Paychecks at $50. IIPR at $50. Power REIT, that's PW, at $8. Boeing, $90. SRS is my main one right now. Berkshire Hathaway, $167. And then a few others. But yeah, I think that there's a lot of really good opportunities. Honestly, like for an airline right now, I would probably buy Southwest. It's cheap, okay? And it's, I don't know. I think in 6 months it'll be 50% higher. So like $15. So check the call options out. I was checking them out. And that's why, like, for people that don't have big accounts, that's why you need to learn options. But you need to learn how to trade. Like, all I do right now is trade options. Because it's like, basically some of the positions that I'm buying. So like Southwest Airlines, okay? So my position, if I had to tabulate it in terms of shares, I would have been playing with like 30, swinging like 30,000 shares this week. So to give you an idea, 30,000 shares, it's like buying $1 million worth of stock. Gavin. Yeah, look, Save is like, it's crazy. Save, JetBlue. Who else? Southwest. In terms of losses, like quarterly losses, think of it this way. American Airlines booked $2.2 billion in losses for the quarter. Southwest booked $95 million. It's a insane. That's a 21x difference. All right. Yet when Warren Buffett news hit, Southwest dropped like 20%. American Airlines dropped like 15 or 10, something insane. So yeah. So I like the airlines. What else? I think at some point, Apple Twilio, Shopify. It's beyond, it doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. Like, if Apple hits a fucking, you know what it is, guys? Tech is just getting really crowded. And if something bad happens in tech, then the SPY is going to collapse. If something happens to Apple, that's it. We're going right back down. Think of it like 5 companies make up the half of the S&P 500. Can't be that way. Wayfair. I don't know why anybody would. Guys, you can't short companies like Wayfair or Etsy or I don't know, whoever else fucking does something like that. And here's the reason why. When people are at home and when people are depressed, and people are antsy and, people want to feel good, they buy things, they just, and yeah, like, do I need that duvet? No. Do I need that, cork board for, like that wine cork, like display piece? No, but people fucking buy that stupid shit. Now on Wayfair, I'd probably buy like a Star Wars bed or something like that, but you get the point. You never short those things. Because something like that, like, look, at the end of the day, here's the truth. And this is the honest truth. And I'm sure you've heard it before. The market is completely it's not operating the way it's supposed to. And the reason it's not operating the way it's supposed to is because the Fed and the federal government injected so much money into it. The Fed and Congress have essentially in the last 6 weeks stopped the recession or Great Depression, which is fucking crazy. Crazy. Joblessness claims, unemployment claims are off the charts. All right. Debt, corporate debt, off the charts. Student loan debt, off the charts. Credit card debt, off the charts. Okay. All at levels much higher than 2008. Okay. Market compared to 2008, market now. Okay. That's nuts. That's nuts. We're basically trading at December levels, okay, in the market. Do you guys feel like it's fucking Christmas time? When everybody was just feeling so fucking good about the market. Market was just ripping. Market sentiment was off the charts good. People are going bankrupt. There's, could be meat shortages. People are fucking wearing like we're basically in a fucking horror movie, and the market's like, what pandemic? What coronavirus? It's fucking nuts. Johnny B, IIPR, goodbye at 71. It's funny because I wrote an article on marijuanastocks.com about IIPR, or I put them and Trulieve in there, and IIPR was at $71. It ended up going to like 103. But I still like IIPR. But I'd buy them cheaper, to be honest with you. I think you might get your shot. Yeah, look, earnings keeps hitting the fan, but guys, at some point the Fed has got to stop injecting money. And reality does catch up with the market. So it's one of those things where I don't think it's going to be a shock. I'm trying not to hold options overnight. It's just so damn hard. Especially if you're in calls and you get stuck in some like this headline risk. Like if you're going to play options, spend more money to have more time, Mark Allen. Wolf, you're the smartest person in the world. Smart ass. Space travel stocks are up. We going to the moon or blowing up? So Virgin Galactic had their earnings, okay, and it wasn't a surprise. Because why? They don't have a fucking business yet. Nobody's fucking going to the moon. It's a cult stock. It's a cult stock. But you know what? I'd want to be a little long on Virgin Galactic. But it's a cult stock. You don't fuck with a cult stock. Period. I'll give you my list of stocks that you don't fuck with. You don't fuck with Virgin Galactic. You don't fuck with Roku. You don't fuck with Apple. You don't fuck with, what was one the other day? Oh, Beyond Meat, cult stock. Peloton, not quite there. You could fuck with that one. Apple cult stock. AMD cult stock. Netflix. Tesla. Never fuck with Tesla options. I don't even fuck with Tesla options. DraftKings. Yeah, look at all you. Tesla. Zoom, another cult stock. So, yeah, just, and, if you're going to play a cult stock into earnings, you have to own a call and you have to own a put. You cannot just own one. Ooh. K-Tom. I'm guessing that's K Thompson, 887. I've got a really big bet on transportation this week. So, man, so Carnival is going to fucking rip. All right. I don't know if you guys saw that article I retweeted from Dave Portnoy, which I also saw. Carnival Cruise Lines fucking said they're going to open back up in August. Bookings went up like 600%. 600%. ACB is not a cult stock. That's just a stock filled with fucking morons. Oh, what's going on? Guys, for the 41 of you, if you don't subscribe to me, please subscribe. I'm trying to make friends. But yeah, what else? Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Spy. Look, with win ratio calls and puts, is a 65% win rate? I would rather be in calls right now than puts. All right. And the reason why, you do it till it doesn't work. Right now, it's every fucking dip gets bought. All right. So I don't really want to be, I'd rather be on the side that I don't agree with, that's winning, until it stops winning. Right. So it's kind of like when I always say with Potstocks, it's you fade the pop until it doesn't work. All right. And I get shit about it on Twitter every time I say it. And guess what? It still fucking works. Every time I fade the pop in Potstocks, it works. So, that's what I think. I'd rather be long right now than short. And I know at some point that's going to burn me, and I accept that. And you have to accept that as a trader. You're not going to get it right. And the trick is to don't get yourself in a situation that either like let's say I have calls, I got a bunch of call options on something. I don't want to get stuck in it if something like major happens. So when you're trading the SPY, that's the biggest concern because one, those options are usually 2 days apart. All right. Sometimes one day, so they expire quickly. Most people that trade SPY are not trading SPY like a week, 2 weeks out. They just aren't. Just because those options are expensive. You should trade the expensive ones. But anyway, if something bad happens, you're fucked. Like that money's gone. You're probably never going to see that money again. Now, if you're in a sector like an airline, so I had calls on Southwest Airlines and they were working. So 2 days in a row, boom, boom, boom. They go up, I sell, they go down, I reload, they go back up, I sell, they go down, I reload, and then they went down, headline risk. But I'd taken enough profit where I could manage the trade. But for like fucking 3 days, it just sucked. And at one point, I was ready to bomb out of my position and just take like a fucking huge loss. And I was like, you know what? I fucking bought this option, with this expiration with more time. Sorry. Excuse me. It's my desk. But, I had to stay in the trade because I fucking believed in it. But I was like, fuck, I got time. You don't want to be in something where you don't have time. All right. And if you're trading the stock, okay, that's one thing. I don't think that you could really get fucked in any stock right now unless, you are trading it to actually, if you're a day trader, then yeah, you could get fucked. If you're an investor, that's different. So if I buy Southwest at $30 and I'm an investor versus a day trader, the little swing doesn't really bother me that much because guess what? I'll probably just buy more because I'm in it for the long term because I think it's going to go up 50 to 100%. Now that's the right way to look at it. If you buy it at 30 and you fucking panic, you're like, oh no, what do I do? And you don't fucking give it time and you bomb out at 25. Well, maybe this isn't for you. Unless it's luck in coffee. Guys, why do it's like, look at all the Asian companies. No offense to Asia. I mean, besides Alibaba, and who knows about fucking Alibaba, Neo, Luck and Coffee, those things were like, I don't trust their fucking numbers. Sorry. I said it. I said it, folks. So, yeah. You had calls. You better still be in the trenches with the team, damn it. Johnny B, I still have 190 love calls. So that's 190 calls. I trimmed half of my position. And I also bought. So I was buying. So I probably traded somewhere in the neighborhood of 600 or 700 calls on that one position this week. So it's going to be a rip this week. Yeah, I think it's going to look good. I think we're actually going to have like a good day. But yeah. So what other questions? Are you a medical marijuana card holder in Florida? No, I'm not. I am actually not a medical marijuana card holder in Florida. That doesn't mean that I have really good weed all the time. I have so much weed. It's like fucking weed. There's just fucking weed everywhere. I got so much weed that somebody made me a weed tray. Weed tray. It's Rustic Smoke. You can find them on Instagram. Actually, maybe a small one. So this is actually for your iPad. Put your iPad in. Really nice. Good guys over there. Also got a Darth Vader wood watch. Okay. So guys, so yeah, look, what is it? So again, I'm going to tell you Joe Canada CCL calls this week in TTG. I'm going to focus on Southwest and Love. I really like this Love trade. So Love is Southwest Airlines. So they didn't, this is why I hate fucking, and I said this on Twitter, this is why I hate fucking Robinhood traders. So they did a leaseback agreement. All right. So they sold, what was it? 20 planes. All right. They got 815 million bucks. What do the panic like Robinhood traders do? Sell it fucking down. They panic. Oh shit. This is bad. Drop it to 2650. I saw the news. By the time I looked at the stock, I was like, oh, this is good news. And I like retweeted it. And I didn't have my phone near me because I was on my desktop. I was like, oh, this is fucking good news. I retweeted it. And I grabbed my phone. I was like, oh, I wonder what the market's doing. It had already dropped down to 2650 and bounced right back to 27, basically. Just shows you how fucking stupid people are. So I like that trade. That shows strength, man. That gives me actually more conviction in the trade. But here's how I'm going to trade it for all you people in the LUV $27 call. This is how I'm going to trade it. If I will probably buy some 20s, if let's say it dips on Monday, okay? I'll probably buy, let's say it just fucking dips to 2650 for argument's sake. If it dips to 2650, I will buy 27 dollar calls. Like the strike is 27, not maybe May 22nd, maybe a week higher. All right. If let's say it goes to around 26, then I'll buy 2650 calls if available, or I'll buy an in the money call for the 22nd, or I'll buy a $30 June 21st $30 call. Give myself a month. I like that trade a lot. Now I'm going to go over that in TTG. I got a couple of really fucking dynamite trades in TTG. You know, especially related to real estate. Real estate has just been my fucking bread and butter. Just shorting real estate. So, you know, for all you people, here's a free one. Want to be in that? ERV under 5. S under 19. Boom. There you go. You're welcome. What if it goes to 28 on Monday? If it goes to 28 on Monday, if it goes to 28 on Monday, then the $27 call option should go somewhere in the neighborhood of like $1.75. If let's say it's a straight shot and we go to 28, and then let's say it taps like 28.50, we're going to be over $2. In which case I will be psyched. Because I also have some higher strikes. I'd love to fucking make some money on those because they're just fucking sitting in no man's land. Oh, Johnny P, 32. Yeah. I hope so, man. I hope so. What about URE? Le Vortex. URE is for if you're bullish on real estate. I'm not bullish. So I'll show you guys my real estate. So I'm just going to show you guys. So ready? So these are my monitors. All right. So you see that? It says, hold on. Well, focus, damn it. There we go. See, it says transportation. So, all right, look, when I make a streamer, so you can see all my transportation stocks. So when I make a streamer, I always put the SPY and Apple on there. All right, so that's transportation. This is my real estate. These are the real estate companies that I watch. Let's do that. There you go. And then I got Corona Volatility. So it looks like that. And then I have weed companies. That's Weed Watch. And then I have Wolf, which is the big one. Yeah. What are the 27 calls as of Friday? They were, I think we closed at 110 on those $27 calls. So they had a low this week of 40 cents. So yeah. Ryan Johnson, oh man. You know, the love trade would have been great if you got in after we got fucking stomped. Because we got fucking stomped. Because we got caught in the headline. We were swinging the option, and then we got caught in that weekend bullshit with Warren Buffett. Oh, God. You're going to get caught in a headline. It's inevitable. So yeah. Will Potstock volume drop off in the summer months? Yes. They're dropping off now. The volume's shit now. Look, I think September, August is when you want to be in Potstocks. You could trade them now. I think that there's if you're really good at trading them and you just you're like buying Canopy at 14, selling it at 16, reloading it at 15, selling it at 17. If you're doing that, then you could fucking stay long in Potstocks. Most people don't know how to do that. You know? Like think about it. If you buy 1,000 shares of Canopy, all right, at $15, all right, so you pay 15 grand for it. You scalp it 15 times, you know, or 30 times, either 50-cent scalps or dollar scalps, you've got a free position. You have to look at it like that. You know, in 2018, when I reloaded Aurora, I bought almost $1 million worth of Aurora, and I went down like 250 grand in like 2 days. Not that much, less, like 150 grand. Because I was just fucking buying. I bought like $500,000, then I bought $250,000, then I bought another $250,000. And for the next 2 weeks, I just scalped it. I was swinging it back and forth like I didn't want to fucking talk to anybody. That's all I was doing. And you know what? I ended up with more Aurora than I had money, like that was profit, and my average ended up being like 725 when all was said and done. So why don't you get text notifications on your option trades on TTG? I don't know. That's because I mean, honestly, I came into TTG as, you know, just another head trader. we can do something like that where people get my trades. But we just haven't. I haven't been there long. Let's put it that way. But yeah, the text alerts are going to happen because remember, at some point, I'm going to be trading marijuana again, and that's when it gets really fun in True Trading Group. Really fun. So Tuesday is TTG Tuesday for you 46 beautiful people. So what that means is you come in and you can trade with me for free. All right. So I know there's like an hour and 10 minutes of just kind of going back and forth. Is it good to be in UVXY now? It's so tough, man. I think you want to be in UVXY under 39 or $38. I think the UVXY trade is one that you have to do every couple of days. The same way SRS is like takes a little bit of time. It's holy shit. Yeah. Wow, I didn't see UVXY. It had gone under 40 for the first time since the whole coronavirus things like really started kicking up. That's not a good sign. I will tell you this, okay? And I want you to fucking, please, for the love of God, if you take nothing from me, take this because this is the absolute best trading advice I can give you, okay? Hand on a fucking Bible. If UVXY goes under $11 again, just buy as much as you fucking can. Buy as much as you can, or buy long-term options like a year out, okay, for $20 or $30. A year out, doesn't matter. Just fucking keep buying them. Stay active on them. Somebody said that to me in February 3rd. Said somebody puts $500,000 in your account and says you can only buy one stock. What would it be? And I was like, fucking UVXY. It was at 11. And that was my whole plan for the year. I was like, man, fucking UVXY gets to $11. I'm going to buy it so fucking much. You know what the worst thing about it is? I had $11 calls and a fucking shitload of them. And I had like 2 weeks. I had a 2-week advantage on them. $11. And I was like, man, these are fucking pricey. And I sold them for like 20 cents profit. UVXY hit $125. That gun doesn't work. You should have bought calls on this stream. Guys, it's only going to get bigger. And I'm going to remember each of you fuckers. All 45 of you. But I always remember the first 14, okay? Yeah, guys, look, a lot of what's going on now is just where not to lose money. Oh, damn, it has been an hour. I got to go too. Shit. All right, yeah, if there's no more questions, we can just end it there. For you 45 people, if you have YouTube, can you hit the like button? Just like me. I just want to be liked by you. I just want to be liked by you. Guys, come on. If you don't like me for anything else, how about this shirt? Come on. Wash your hands. Why do you always skip the Bitcoin? Oh, I didn't even see there was a Bitcoin question. Was there a Bitcoin question? Oh, please. We'll call this the PS. The PS portion. What is your Bitcoin question? Will I like you back? Yeah. What is your Bitcoin question? Was there really a Bitcoin question? I just missed it. Fuck. Thanks, Mark. Yeah, you guys know that this guy's actually dead? So all the proceeds of this go to his family. Dude, don't make me look for this fucking Bitcoin question. Oh, truly share price in 1 year? It depends, man. If they get a big board listing, it's game on. Did the Pelt announcement help you? Albert, when I was in Aurora? No, it didn't. I mean, it did, but I didn't have as much position by then. And I got out at like 850. When I reloaded like $1 million, it was in October. It was October 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. And I only know that because that was the day that the market imploded. Something about thoughts on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is fucking dog shit. All right, I hate Bitcoin. And I think the Bitcoin people are the most fucking obnoxious people in the world. Their whole thing is fuck the man, right? But they want a non-centralized currency that's scarce. That in order to sell it for the fiat currency they hate and be rich. Yeah, I hate fucking Bitcoin. Oh, they manipulate it all the time. Look at every time there's a big Bitcoin conference, and you'll see that there's a drop on it. Like, if you could you short Bitcoin? Because if you could short Bitcoin, then I might get into cryptocurrency. I'd love to short Bitcoin. I would just short Bitcoin. You know, look, I traded cryptocurrency for a while, and I'm telling you guys right, I'm going to say this right now to YouTube. The greatest cryptocurrency. So I'll tell you the three. I'll give you 3 coins. I'll tell you who the best trader in all of those are. So for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. Okay. The best trader in the world for Bitcoin is me. The best trader of Ethereum in the world is me. The best trader of Litecoin in the world is me. Why am I the best trader of cryptocurrency on those 3? You might ask. Because I had no fucking idea what I was doing. And I bought some Bitcoin, some Ethereum, and actually I bought a lot of Litecoin. Because I was like, people are asking me so much about fucking Bitcoin and Litecoin and Ethereum. I was like, I need to fucking have an answer for them. So I was like, I put five grand in, and I bought mostly Litecoin at fucking $40. The thing fucking ran up. It was like this. And then the creator of Litecoin was like, it was at an all-time high. He's like, this is coming down. The price is coming down. And I was like, sell Ethereum, sell Bitcoin, sell. And I was like, what the fuck just happened? I was like, how did I just make 35 grand on this dog shit? And then, yeah, I've never fucking traded it again. So yeah, I'm fucking George Costanza of cryptocurrency. I just fucking left on a high note. I was like, thanks. Oh, you can short it, huh? Fuck, that's so dangerous. I wouldn't short. I'd like, if I could buy put options on Bitcoin, I'd be fucking doing that shit all day. Yes, Robinhood traders do equal Bitcoin. Robinhood traders are the fucking worst. Worst. Oh, Robinhood traders. Any more Bitcoin questions? I could fucking do this all night. You guys see my new Boba Fett helmet? Hold on. Why can't I do it? What? There we go. There we go. Why was that so fucking hard for me? All right. Okay, guys. Hour and 20 minutes. Guys, since we're opening up, the economy and people are going to their barbers, please wash your hands. Nah, I'm good. I'm not willing to risk it for the biscuit. So anyway, all right, guys, have a good day. Subscribe, like, guys, share. Can you go on my fucking Twitter? Help a fucking brother out, man. Guys, I'm just gonna tell you, this is a fucking real. This is really humbling because when I do a stream on Twitter, the fucking 100 fucking people on there, usually 200, and buy yourself a medical marijuana card, Jason. I wouldn't like for you to get arrested. Dude, I'm not going to get arrested. Don't worry. My neighbors are cops. So 2 doors down, cop. 1 across the street, famous YouTuber. Football, NFL, NHL. Other side of the lake, NHL. Nobody's fucking with me in my neighborhood. Don't you worry. It is way better on YouTube, right? You can see all my toys. My kids have been fucking playing. See, my wife, I'm going to leave you with this because it's Mother's Day tomorrow. My wife worked in my office this week. My fucking office was a fucking disaster because she's just letting her kids come in here and fucking play while she's in here. How do cops afford to live next to you? I'll tell you how. A bunch of the cops that are in here bought, and they're not like cops, like, regular cops. They bought in 2008 when housing market collapsed here. So some of these houses went for like $500,000. Fuck. They got such a deal. By the Panthers? Yeah. Yeah. So no, I got a bunch of Florida Panthers that live in here. I got some Miami Dolphins, 1 Miami Heat player. Ooh, Pennywise. It's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. I have flowers in my office bathroom. So anyway, all right, guys, you have a good night. Thank you for liking that. Retweet if you're on Twitter or whatever. That. But thank you, guys. I really do appreciate it. Remember, TTG Tuesday is this Tuesday. So, but staff home slice is great. All right, guys. We're gonna have a really good week this week, though. How many acres do I have? I'm on 1 acre on a lake. So I want to move to the Southwest Ranches and have 4 acres. But anyway, all right, guys, you enjoy your rest of your night. Thank you for tuning in on a Saturday. Take care, comb your hair, stay safe, social distance, and wash your fucking hands. Wolf out.